Welcome to all of you. My name is Dr. Neha Desai from Department of Chemistry, RBNB College, Srirampur. Now I am going to deliver my next lecture in the series of lectures on HPLC instrumentation. Now in today's lecture, we will discuss about the preparation of a solvent as a mobile phase. In the earlier one, we have completed the instrumentation of HPLC in detail. Whenever you are considering the HPLC technique, the choice of a solvent, that is the selection of a solvent as well as preparation of a solvent for the mobile phase is the most important phenomena. So for this, while selecting the solvent or while selecting the mobile phase, we have to consider the different parameters. So what are the different parameters that we have to consider while selecting the mobile phase? The first one is the viscosity. So while selecting the mobile phase, the first parameter is viscosity. As all of you know that liquids, they are of two types, highly viscous liquid and less viscous liquid. So in order to use as a mobile phase in HPLC, what is necessary? You have to select the solvent which is having the low viscosity. Why we have to use the low viscosity solvent? The main reason is that whenever you are comparing between the two solvents, one having the high viscosity and one having the low viscosity, the main reason is that if when you are using a solvent of low viscosity, then it will produce a low pressure drop. While when you are using a solvent of high viscosity, then it will produce a high pressure drop. Hence, every time it is very necessary to select a solvent having a low viscosity. As it is having a low viscosity, it will produce a low pressure drop, and as it produced a low pressure drop, flowing of such a solvent through the HPLC column is a very easy task. Now, the second point that we have to consider while selecting the mobile phase is about the UV transparency. Whenever you are using a UV detector for HPLC chromatography, then you have to check the UV transparency of your mobile phase or a solvent. That means the solvent that you are using as a mobile phase in the HPLC instrumentation, it should be completely transparent to the UV absorbance range. The solvent should be completely transparent to the UV absorption range. So this is the second point that we have to consider while selecting the solvent. Now the third point that we have to consider, it is about the refractive index or RI index. Whenever you are using RI detector or refractive index detector in the HPLC instrumentation, then the most important point that you have to consider is the refractive index of your solvent or a mobile phase. There should be an appreciable change or appreciable difference in between the refractive index of your sample as well as the refractive index of the solvent as well as the sample. So in case of refractive index, you have to consider this point whenever you are dealing with the RI detector. One more important thing is that there should be an appreciable difference in between the refractive index of a sample and a solvent. Now, after studying the refractive index, the next most important phenomena that you have to consider while selecting the mobile phase is regarding the purity. As all of you know that HPLC, it is the highly sensitive technique. Therefore, the solvent which you are using as a mobile phase in the instrumentation, it should be in a highly pure form. For that, HPLC grade solvent they are commercially available. Otherwise, you have to purify the solvent and then you can use it for the analysis part. So, highly pure form is much needed in HPLC. Otherwise, if you are using any impure solvent, then there may be extra peaks due to the impurity are observed in the HPLC chromatogram. So, highly pure form of solvent is the much necessary condition. Now, after studying the purity, the next important point that you have to consider, that is about the boiling point of a solvent. Generally, there are two types of solvent, one having a high boiling point and one having a low boiling point. As far as HPLC is concerned, we always prefer the solvents having the low boiling point. So whenever you are dealing with the HPLC, you have to always select a solvent which is having a lower boiling point. So this is the fifth criteria that we have to consider while selecting the mobile phase or a solvent. Now after that, the next important point, that is inertness or inert nature. The mobile phase or a solvent which you are using in the HPLC, it should be chemically inert one. That means it should not react with your sample as well as it should not react with the stationary phase. Means in short we can say that the mobile phase that you are using, it should be chemically inert one. It should not react with your sample as well as your stationary phase, because if it reacts with any one of them, then there may be possibility of the ghost peak, or what we call it as the extra peaks in the HPLC chromatogram. After this, the next point that we have to study, it is regarding the toxicity and the corrosion resistance. While selecting the mobile phase, the most important criteria is that you have to select the each and every solvent which is not chemically toxic. Okay, so you have to use always a non-toxic material as a solvent or a mobile phase, because use of toxic solvent is not prescribed. Then the next most important point that we have to consider is regarding the corrosion resistance. As far as the mobile phase is concerned, the use of light in HPLC, it promotes the release of acids such as HCl. When it is producing the acids such as HCl, it is highly corrosive type of a acid. So most of the time you are using the stainless steel as a for making of the column in HPLC, because this steel is corrosion resistant material. But when there is a continuous release of the acid such as HCl or the organic solvent such as ethanol or methanol, then the stainless steel is corroded. So for this you have to always select the solvent as a mobile phase in HPLC which is corrosion resistant one. So these are the different points that we have to consider while selecting the mobile phase in HPLC. The first one is viscosity. You have to always select a solvent which is having a low viscosity. As far as boiling point is concerned, you have to always select a solvent having a low boiling point. Then the solvent, it should be a chemically inert one. It should not react with the stationary phase of the HPLC column. Then the sample that you are using, it should not be toxic and it should be in the highly pure form. So this is so far regarding the choice or selection of the solvent or a mobile phase in HPLC. Then the next important point, after selection of a solvent, the next thing is the preparation. Okay, so you have to prepare the mobile phase or you have to prepare the solvent for the HPLC analysis. So the next point is the preparation of a solvent or a preparation of a mobile phase. Now what are the different points that you have to consider while preparing the solvent for a mobile phase? Now there are two ways. The mobile phase or a solvent is directly commercially available. Such commercially available solvents are known as HPLC grade solvents. These HPLC grade solvents, they are having a high purity. So they are having a high purity, and as HPLC is highly sensitive technique, it can detect the impurity up to ppm level. So it is always preferable to use the HPLC grade solvents which are available in the market. But sometimes if you are using the solvents which are highly pure but not of HPLC grade, then what is the necessary condition? You have to filter such a sample before use. Okay, so the most necessary condition is that always you have to filter the solvent before use. So if you are remembering, we have discussed while discussing the instrumentation of HPLC, that is 2 filters are installed in the HPLC, that is before injecting your sample and solvent inside the column of HPLC chromatogram, we have to filter the solvent before use. So these are the necessary conditions when you are preparing the solvent system for the HPLC instrumentation. Any small addition or any impurity, it will lead to the formation of extra peaks, or what we call it as ghost peaks. So these are the different parameters we have to consider while preparing the solvent system. Now always whenever you are analyzing the sample by using HPLC, then you have to take the solvent from the original bottle, and if you are not taking the solvent from the original bottle, then you have to filter it through the filter. This filter, it is having a 0.5 to 0.8 micrometer of the thickness. So always prefer to use the HPLC grade solvent. If it is not possible and you are using the another solvent, then always use the solvent from the original bottle, and if this fact is also not possible, then always filter the solvent through the filter before use. There should not be any impurity. Along with it, the solvent, it should be degas before use. What is the meaning of the word degas? Degas means whenever you are removing the air bubbles. Okay, so the complete removal of the air bubbles from the solvent system, this term is known as degassing. So all this is about the second point, that is preparation of the mobile phase to use as a solvent in HPLC instrumentation. Now the next point that we are going to study, it is related to the gradient system. Basically, there are two types of gradient system. The first one is the low pressure gradient system, and the second one is the high pressure gradient system, which is normally used in HPLC. So as all of you know that in case of HPLC pump or the pumping system, is the most important thing in the instrumentation. Pumps are invented in order to apply the high pressure and in order to increase the rate of analysis. So as a result of this, in HPLC we are getting the results at a faster rate. So in case of low pressure gradient system, you are using a single pump, and in case of high pressure gradient system, you are using more than one pump. So this is about the gradient system, and the detectors which are suitable for the gradient illusion, they are normally the UV detector. So regarding this, before starting the description, we will first see the diagrammatic representation of the low pressure gradient system and the high pressure gradient system, and then we will see its description. So in case of low pressure gradient system, there are two solvent reservoirs. These two solvent reservoirs, they are connected to the wall and finally to the mixer. Mixer means the mixing chamber where there is a proper mixing in between the sample as well as the solvent takes place. And after finally passing through the pump, then it will goes to the injector unit. So in this, only a single pump is used, and this is the diagrammatic representation of low pressure gradient system. Here the solvent reservoirs are there. The solvent is reserved in the solvent reservoir before the actual analysis. Then mixing chamber is there. In mixing chamber, proper mixing of the sample with your solvent or a mobile phase takes place. Then finally pump is there. Pump, it will apply the high pressure to the sample plus solvent, that means to the solvent system, and then it is ready for the injection inside the column. Now what is the difference in low pressure and high pressure? As the name indicate, instead of using a single pump, here we are using two or more pumps in case of high pressure gradient system. Okay, so instead of using a single pump, in case of high pressure gradient system, you are applying more pressure and therefore you are using two or more number of pumps in the high pressure gradient system. Here again the solvent, it is kept inside the solvent reservoir. After that mixing is there, proper mixing of a solvent and sample takes place. Then after passing through the pump, your sample is ready for the injection in the high pressure gradient system. So this is about the low pressure gradient as well as the high pressure gradient system in the HPLC. After this, the next point that we are going to study, that is about the capillary tubing and the fittings. As far as this lecture is concerned, we have discussed the choice of a solvent and how you will prepare the solvent to use as a mobile phase in the HPLC. And at the end we have just discussed about the low pressure gradient system and the high pressure gradient system. In the next lecture we will discuss about the capillary tubing as well as fittings. Thank you.